Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Updated Ark Basics, a show where we break down the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the all-arounds of Ark. That's right, we're talking about the ABCs. The A stands for Ark, the B for Basics, the C, whatever you want it to be. If you're interested in seeing the original one, the link is up here. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Ark Basics. I'm Phlinger Phoo, and today we're going to be talking about one of those rather annoying yet scary dinosaurs that while you're busy setting up your early game base, you know, they just kind of come out of the woodwork, decide they're going to eat your base and make you have a really hard time. We're talking about the Carno. These guys, they've gone through a bunch of changes and stuff over the years, and actually, I think they're kind of in a really good spot right now. They're not the biggest dino, they're not the best dino, but you guys saw the Pteranodon over my... Okay, yeah. All right, so you be you, man. All right? Okay, but, yeah, these guys, they're actually... They're not bad, especially for early game tames. And I say early game tames because it's level 47 that you can craft their saddle, which means that you could get one rather early on by different methods and then actually have it as a nice mount that you go around and you kind of level up on. They're rather decent. So, yeah, with that said, there are a couple different places that you can find them on the island. For the most part here, yeah. There we go. You can find them just about there. Basically, the only spot where you will not find them is inside the swamp. And inside the caves. Yeah, they're kind of like raptors, just really big raptors. Generally, also, another way of finding Carnos is, if you ever see Uranus, generally Uranuses have between 1 and 3 Carnos that are kind of just chilling out next to them. That's part of the Uranus's spawn mechanic, is most of the times they'll spawn in with Carnos, and then they'll constantly be buffing the Carnos, and then they'll use the Carnos as, just dinos that'll attack things for them. It gets pretty intense. But yeah, when you're out in the wild and you're just a very early survivor, a Carno is a death sentence. It really is. If you see a Carno stomping towards you, and they do have a rather distinct stomp, and I would recommend that you learn what the stomp sounds like so you know exactly what Carno sounds like when it's coming next to you. Yeah, when you encounter the Carnos early on, if you don't have an increase in movement speed, chances are you're probably going to die. That's just... That's the truth. If you haven't invested in movement speed, you're generally dead. So I would, once again, I would recommend that you level up movement speed early on. It does help out quite a bit. These guys, they can be tamed out in the open. It's not really all that recommended. I mean, you can do it by, say, getting up on top of rocks and shooting them, but also these guys have a big head, so if you have got a Carno right down there, it would definitely be able to hit you with his head. It would just do its little headbutt and it'd smack you back, and then once you're off the rock, it would come and eat your face. That's just the way Carnos work, and yeah, it is kind of unfortunate. So if you do have access to a lower level mount, or to a lower leveled saddle mount, where pretty much is you can get the saddle off a lower level, like a saber-tooth or even a direwolf, maybe even a raptor, you could do it, because you can phase tank one of these guys pretty easily while you're shooting it with tranks. And that's actually a pretty easy way of taming it. Or you could also use a taming pin. Now, I do have a taming pin set up in a spot where I know Carnos spawn quite a bit. I've encountered them over there many, many times, and we're going to go discuss that as well. So, when you're going out, say if you're going to phase tank a Carno, or if one attacks your base, you need to grab a dino, grab one that you can ride off the saddle. The shopping list for this is you can use just regular arrows, just regular bow, or you can also use a crossbow. You can use a long neck, but if you're going to do an early game, you won't have access to trank darts, so just stick to either a crossbow or or it's the regular bow. They are effective. A crossbow is generally much more effective than a bow, but use what you have. Yeah, I fully encourage that. All right, so I'm probably going to be using a crossbow for this. All just depends on what I feel like grabbing when we're over there. All right, let me grab a dino. Actually, I'm going to grab Smeghead because I really enjoy it. I'm riding around on him, and we're going to go explore. I'm going to go show you this taming pin. It's actually probably one of the simplest taming pins that you can craft for taming dinosaurs. All right, here we go on this, and this is actually a spot where I've seen so many Carnos over my time in Ark. There, you get a lot of them up here in this field, you get a lot of them down here, you get a bunch of them walking down here on the beach. I mean, Carnos, they're just interested in everything. They like long walks on the beach, long walks over the, you know, the grassy fields. Yeah. They are what they are. They've got some personality. All right, but yeah, this right here is just a typical trap. This is probably the most basic. It's just fence foundations with doors. Well, with doorways without any doors. Now, on fence foundations, since on vanilla settings, you won't be able to actually snap stairways to the doorways. Snap a couple pillars down here onto the fence foundations, and that'll give you foundation support and allow you to snap the stairways going down there. All right, so yeah, if these guys, they are generally they're a carnivore. They're a meat tame. You can tame them with regular meat. You can tame them with prime meat. You can tame them with let's see, mutton, and you can also tame them with kibble. The kibble they take is just regular kibble. It's actually not that hard to craft, and you should have access to some of that stuff kind of early game. That is, if you have your your gameplay set up for kibble. A lot of people won't. A lot of people will. All just depends. And speak of the devil, here we go. This is a Carno. So, oh, this is just level 5 Carno. All right, so this is going to be really, really easy. Now, if we're on our tame like this, we can seriously just shoot him from the back and face take them as we want, especially with such a low level. He will hit us, and he does have a bleed attack, which will hurt. So you will need to keep an eye on your health. And he's already out because he's a level 5. All right, so yeah, I'm not even going to tame this guy. I'm just going to kind of just leave him to take a nap, and when he wakes up, he'll be ready to do stuff. Yeah, he'll be ready to terrorize the neighborhood as soon as he wakes up. But he's only level 5, so I'm not going to tame him. But yeah, if you're on a dinosaur that you can ride and shoot off the back of it, you can totally tame Carno that way. I would not recommend doing it on foot, unless if you have some way of them not touching you. All right, let me go see if I can find another one. We'll lure it into this trap, and then we'll knock it out that way. And here we go. Very quick and easy. And also, the flying bugs right here, Carnos have a really good way of taking them out. Oh, he's gonna eat this Phlinger. But oh. Okay, there's a Therizino. I was not expecting the Therizino. All right, so we're gonna eat this Phlinger just where he stops chasing it. There we go. All right, hey, Mr. Carno, come on. All right, here, eat that so where you're healed up, and I know you're healed up. Come on. All right, come on, dude. All right, we're just gonna kind of lure him along. As long as you stay within his attack range every once in a while, you don't have to stay within it at all times. But as long as you get within it, he'll re-aggro on you constantly. Nice. Now, and of course, we got a Phoo. All right, so that happened. All right, so I'm just gonna knock him out in here. All right, this guy's level 80. And you see how much harder this guy is hitting compared to the other one? They do generally get pretty beefy. It's rather insane. But yeah, if I hadn't messed up the jump, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go like this. They do have a rather large knockback. You know what? Dude, fine. You know, I'm just gonna knock you out. There you go. All right, now, for demonstration purposes, I can actually just go like this. Pop out like this. And then we could, if I hadn't messed up the jump, we could just come out like this, and we could just kind of carefully knock him out as we saw fit. It is pretty easy. All right, but now that he's unconscious, we just want to put, like I said, regular kibble, some mutton, some prime meat, or just some regular meat on him. And, yeah, I think I've got some, right? Yeah, I killed the Sarco earlier. Alright, so, hey, I will see you guys in just a minute once this guy decides he wants to get up. Alright, and then when they're awake, now all you, if you actually have, access to Cryopods, you can just pick them up and put them in your pocket and then take them back, to wherever, so where you can get a saddle on them, or, you can, when you're building the trap, you can just take and put, a dino gate in the side so you can walk them right out, or, you can just break a few walls. It's not too bad. All right, they're easy to recraft, but yeah, Cryopods is generally the preferred method. That way there you have a self-contained area. It's just a thing. All right, so let's get this guy back, and then let's talk about his saddle a little bit, and then also what they can do. All right, so their saddle, like I was saying earlier, it's pretty easy to craft. You can get it pretty early on. Oh, it's actually level 46, not level 47 like I said earlier. Sorry about that. All right, and it's just 170 fiber, 320 hide, and 30 metal ingots. The metal ingots is really the hardest part of this. It's really not that bad at all. And as you can see, even unridden, Carnos are pretty dang good. It just took on that raptor that decided it wanted to attack my saber-tooth while I was in crafting his saddle. Not bad. Alright, so now that you got a saddle on him, this guy can actually do 2 separate attacks. Alright, he has just a regular left-click attack, which is a bite attack, and then his right-click attack, which is a horn attack, or where he'll gore them with his horns and then cause a bleed attack. Here, now, let me show you on this poor defenseless turtle that is just wandering out here in the wild, pretending, you know, on nice little beach walk. So if we left-click him, it just does regular damage. Now, if we right-click, it creates a bleed that actually ends up doing quite a substantial amount of damage. I believe that the damage over time effect from the bleed is percentage based off his maximum health, which really makes quite a good, does quite a bit of a good amount of damage. It's not, you know, a huge amount, but it does help out quite a bit. All right, now listen to this sound. That is the sound of a charging Carno. Learn it well. This sound right here is the sound of a not aggressive Carno that is just looking for something to be aggressive on. Learn that sound as well. But yeah, these guys, they are good traveling mounts for when you're lower level. They're often overlooked for things like Rexes and stuff like that. Allosauruses, Gigas especially, because they're medium-sized dino. And you get them early on and a lot... I mean, honestly, they're overshadowed by a lot of the other guys, but these guys are actually still really, really good. I mean, you can use these as mounts as you go out exploring. You can use these mounts as basically just kind of your buddy, your go-to mount when you go around doing things. That's pretty good. They don't have a jump, which kind of sucks, but then again, something like this, being able to jump would be a little bit wonky. All right, but yeah. So if you were going to be leveling this up as a general purpose, sorry, wrong button. If you're going to be leveling this guy up as generally a general purpose mount, I would definitely go health. Out of every 5 levels that I was leveling up on this guy, I would go at least 2 health, 1 stamina, 1 weight, 1 melee damage. And that would make him a nice, well-rounded mount. If I was taking him out for more of just, you know, I was going to go out and bruise up the neighborhood, gather a bunch of hide and meat, and then come back to base, and then just park him for a little bit, it would just be health and melee damage, maybe a touch of weight after a while. And yeah, so, all right. So I think that's pretty much all there is to the Carno. Yeah, they're good dinos, they really are. They are overshadowed by some other things. But yeah, early on in the game, when you can craft their saddle, I actually think their saddle is placed just about the perfect level to make them viable as early game mounts, and they are good early game mounts. All right, so I do think that's going to do it. So, hey, if you haven't already, make sure you click that like button. I really appreciate it. If you're new around here, subscribe. Until next time, this is Phlinger Phoo, and take it easy, everybody.